Joining us right now is Mr. Jignesh Mevani. Thank you very much, Mr. Mevani, for joining us. Your first view on this terrible, terrible tragedy. 141 people killed in a bridge which was more than 100 years old, given for maintenance and repair and upkeep to a company that manufactures wall clocks, landline telephones. It manufactures, e-scooters, mosquito rackets. Jignesh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Say again.
Yeah. Hi, Jignesh. If you can hear me, my question is, what do you have to say about this incident, considering the fact that
what has happened is extremely unfortunate, and I pay my condolences to the victim's family. It must not have happened. If we put ourselves in the position of the victim's family, then we can, realize what they must have gone through. So it is extremely, extremely unfortunate. I don't want to make any political comment, but I want to make a prayer to all the political parties, to all the governments, that we should be extremely careful when we are assigning this kind of renovation work to any company. Competency of the company, but definitely something prima facie seems really fishy about them. And it seems that maybe because elections were around, to show that, see how quickly we have renovated the bridge and it is open for everyone. So to give that kind of impression and image, to lure the voters, maybe this has happened, and the FIR is lodged, it is good, but whether the accountability of the real culprits will be fixed, I'm posing a question.
But Jignesh Mevani, who according to you are the real culprits? Who do you think is the real culprit? Who do you think is the real culprit?
See, the company which was given this task of renovation, the bureaucrats and the politicians from the BJP, because even the FIR is filed, but I think there is no proper mentioning of the company involved, and I don't trust this SIT, because Gujarat has few officers with impeccable integrity and who are like absolutely non-corrupt. If those, the entire whose tragedy episode is if the investigation is dealt in the similar manner, then there is no hope of justice. So the SIT should be having officers who are non-corrupt, whose integrity impeccable, and that is where the investigation will go to its logical end, and that's where those investigating officers will be able to bring the name of the real culprits, including the company and the people associated with them and the politicians as well.
So you're saying that from politicians,
if the government, politicians is genuinely concerned in ensuring justice, they must not only do an eyewash of an FIR, but form an SIT with officers whose integrity is impeccable. Then only we have the hope of justice.
Okay, Jignesh, so
what happened?
you're basically
what happened in the Surat case. There was no NOC, there were no licenses for the fire brigade and all, and still, licenses were given to the tuition classes to run the tuition classes. And in many buildings in Surat, Baroda, and Rajkot and Ahmedabad, where the NOC is not followed, there are no fitness certificates. So this has not happened for the first time. And this keeps happening because accountability is not fixed and the real culprits are never brought to book.
Jignesh, the question over here is, number one, the competence of the company which was awarded the contract to maintain as well as sell tickets and make sure that this suspended bridge is up and running. Their competence, that is question number one. I'll come to the second question and part two later. A company which specializes in manufacturing wall clocks, in manufacturing landline telephones, in manufacturing e-scooters most recently, and mosquito rackets. Do you think that given the fact that they had no prior experience of maintaining a 100-year-old suspension bridge,
Yeah, this is seriously, it's a big concern. Undoubtedly, the company is not having any track record of renovating this kind of bridges. Why all of a sudden that company is given this task of renovating this bridge? There could be money involved. But even if that was not the case, let us assume for the sake of argument, without fitness certificate, how can you allow them, people to go around? It's extremely risky. And more than 100 people, 150 people have lost their lives. It's extremely serious.
No, Jignesh, see,
And
the
this
thing is,
ministry directly
the thing is,
PM of Gujarat.
right now there seems to be an attempt, Jignesh, to say that this company was supposed to, ensure upkeep, and this company did not spend enough time, and company did not get a procure a certificate. It almost seems that the only agency at fault is this company itself. Do you feel that it is equally important to apportion blame to government officials?
Obviously,
and
the government
politicians?
officers and the secretary level officers and even the ministers can't get away, because they are the ones who have given this task to the company. And if company is doing any kind of nonsense, that you can't get away by saying, "नहीं हमने तो company को काम दे दिया, अब company देखे." You can't get away by saying that. We have already lost 150 people. So bureaucrats, politicians, and the company, they all are responsible collectively. They simply can't get away. It's not a small thing that has happened.
No, the fact that the fact
lost their lives is a very, very big issue.
Jignesh, the fact that there were so many people who were overcrowding the bridge, the capacity was 150, there believed to be 400 plus people on that bridge. All of this is happening and the administration says we did not know.
So isn't it, that's the question. Isn't it the duty and responsibility of the bureaucrats, the concerned officers, to look after that? Whether the guideline is followed or not?
What will you have to, my final question, what will you have to say about attempts now to apportion blame to members of the opposition that they are kicking the bridge, they are responsible?
As I've been repeatedly saying, let the case be investigated by an SIT with officers having impeccable integrity, honesty. Only then we can have some sort of assurance that the investigation will go to its logical end and the truth will come out as to who is responsible. But prima facie, it appears to me that the officers, company and government, they all are responsible. They simply can't get away.
All right, Jignesh Mevani, thank you very much for your time. Thank you.